Welcome to the Take Care Sis podcast with me, Ki, and Kiki.
Join two friends for a conversation around self-care in real life. We'll talk about anything on the spectrum from bubble baths to setting boundaries to managing friendships and more.
As your sisters, we also just want to provide a weekly check-in. You know, like big sis asking little sis, sis, you good? So come on in, sis. Let's talk about how we can take better care of ourselves. Hey, Kiki.
Hey, Ki. How are you?
Girl, it's been a busy Sunday, but otherwise I'm good.
Oh, sound like you've
How
been
are
doing
you?
a lot of work.
Huh?
Sounds like you've been doing a lot of work.
Well, you know, I take Saturdays to be like my lazy day. Like that's the one thing I got from my 7-day Adventist friends. Oh, on Saturday we rest. So yeah, you know, I don't do much on Saturdays. And this week it was like it worked out perfectly. I'll talk about that later. But so yeah, today I've been catching up on stuff and getting ready for next week. How about you, Frank?
Today's been kind of chill. I've been working on a little bit of behind the scenes work, you know, marketing things.
God bless you.
I know. You
Y'all,
know,
Kiki's so good at that type of stuff. And like, I jokingly tell people I'm the talent. Because yeah, when she starts talking about and editing and the sound, and I'll be like, yep, yep.
oh yeah. Speaking
So,
of sound, we're gonna get y'all some good sound, but y'all gonna listen while we here, okay?
all right, sis, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the different types of self-care. So this podcast is about self-care, right? So we're going to just dive into the different types of it because we all know that, you know, people associate self-care with bubble baths and manicures and pedicures, all of the surface level stuff, but there are many different layers to this self-care journey. There are many different ways you can indulge in self-care. And that's what we want to talk about today.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
All right, so the first and most obvious means of self-care is physical self-care. Your physical self-care is how you're taking care of like your outer person or your outer body. Or you kind of get a little internal, I guess, as well when you start thinking about your health. But how do you take care of your physical body? How do you take care of your health? And so this is where your manis and pedis come in. This is where your massages come in. This is where your bubble baths come in. But let's take it one step further. How are you caring for your skin? What foods do you eat? What's your diet like? And by diet, before the people come for me, by diet, I just mean like, what are the foods that you consume? Not
what are you eating?
Yeah, I'm not promoting diets, okay? Before the diet culture people come for me. I'm not promoting diets. I'm just saying the diet means what food you're eating. And then what are the type of movements that you include in your routine? Do you walk for like health? Do you walk? Do you run? Do you kickbox? Do people still Zumba? Do you do Zumba? Do you do yoga?
Zumba. I like Zumba. I don't have no rhythm, so it just be looking crazy when I do it. So
with the
I
pandemic,
stick to.
I've had a hard time with the pandemic and Zumba. I really have. Because taking virtual classes.
Yeah, Zumba is a lot more fun when you're in person, I think.
Yeah.
And you're around people who also can't dance, so I don't feel so bad. we used to do Zumba in the park here, me and one of my friends, and then we started getting a bunch of our other friends to come and do it with us. It was like a free event that the community put on, and we would just be in the back messing everything up and laughing and giggling, and it was fun. I mean, I still didn't do it right, but we was
Yeah.
there. We were moving our bodies. That's it.
Now, I do have one dance aerobics company that I am in love with right now. Shout out to Soconomics. I be getting my Soco on, y'all. So that I do. But Zumba, I don't know what it is, but Zumba didn't make a very good virtual transition for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like music. I like the heavy bass because, Zumba's just, it's a lot of Afro beats,
Mm-hmm.
You need that bass line, and that gets missing on Zoom, because Zoom be like, no, we don't need that much bass, and they'll just.
I also think the way that Zumba is set up, like most of the time, the instructor is like doing it with you, and they're like facing forward with you. Sometimes it helps a lot, and then you're in a big crowd, and everybody's just kind of doing the same thing. That helps, but like I can't see taking that online as being helpful. I'll just be sitting there like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. I'm gonna bow out.
Yeah, it's funny because as a yoga instructor, I am sure that people have felt the same way about my virtual yoga classes.
Yeah,
this is why I teach one-on-one now. Boom. So yeah, what's next?
I think a lot of people have felt that way though for the yoga transition. It's been a little easier because I guess you don't have to depend on music too much for a yoga class. You don't have to depend on, you can just do like one-on-one, like you said. But a lot of people think that you've lost the connection with these virtual classes.
Yeah.
I mean, I disagree, but I guess it depends on the vibe of the teacher and the vibe of the people.
Yeah, because the classes, when I'm a student, I still enjoy them. And I sometimes like that I don't have my camera on because, sometimes, I just be there. I be there in spirit. My body hasn't quite woken up yet. Because my favorite instructor, she teaches, shout out to Tanisha at, Sankofa Yoga in Laurel, Maryland. So anyway, she teaches it like, it's ass o'clock in the morning. I think it's 7. And I love her. I love her. It's just 7 o'clock
in the morning.
Yeah, it's early. So sometimes I love being off camera because I need a couple more minutes. You feel the need to like keep up with the instructor. And it's funny because as an instructor, I know better. I know that I should do what my body's calling for. So if I need to stay in this downward dog or this child's pose a little bit longer, I know that I can stay there. But I'd be like, no, I got to keep up. I got to keep up.
Girl, I did one of the classes for Black Girl Yoga, one of the first classes of the year. And I'm sitting here because, I ain't practiced yoga on my own in a while. So don't judge me. But I got up in that class.
You haven't practiced asana. You've practiced yoga.
True. You're right. So I get in this class and, we in down dog. And I'm sitting here like, no, I got to stay up because I'm an instructor and I can't be up here struggling. And then I'm like, nope, I'm coming down. Like, I'm bringing my knees down. We done with trying to be impressing everybody. I don't care. I'm tired.
Listen, ego is a powerful drug, but it has no place. It has no place in yoga.
Right. So back to our physical self-care as we are talking about.
Yes.
I think you touched on everything. The movements.
So tell us about emotional self-care, Kiki.
Emotional self-care. This has everything to do with how you express your emotions, how you respond to different emotions as they arise, and thinking about how you make decisions. Are you making decisions based off of emotion completely? Because a lot of people do that. It also has to do with kind of the physical. Do you are you an emotional eater? Like, do you eat when you feel sad? Do you eat when you feel angry? Like, do those things affect your eating habit? Your eating habits, not habits. We're not talking about cabinets. Are you able to express your emotions effectively? What we find is a lot of people do not know how to express their emotions effectively. They don't know how to handle it when they feel sad or when they feel stressed. They just kind of go to unhealthy habits, like we just said, eating
Sex.
or shutting down, isolating. What?
I said sex.
I don't know if that's an unhealthy. Well,
Yeah, that's why I was, that's why I
I
paused.
mean, I guess it depends on how you use it. If you, that's your
Just keep
only
going, girl. Keep going. Keep going.
that's your only means.
Keep going, friend.
Well, this is real. Okay, they need to hear this.
Let me add that, since we're in that vein, right? It's not just how you respond to how you don't, or no, I'm sorry. It's almost more like when I think of emotional self-care, I think of the fact that did I attend to my emotions? So take, for example, I'll give you an example of me, right? I'm an Aries. Yes, yes, I know. Applause. I know. I'm an Aries. And and we're known for our tempers. Well, honestly, I've had to do some self-work because I was like, this temper is really not, it's not really working for me. And then plus yoga's calmed me down a lot. So I'm not your typical Aries who will just like, burn the house down. Now, you can take me there. Don't get it twisted. I can go there, but I have learned a lot of self-control. And so to me, that's emotional self-care, because like when someone say comes for me, right? And let me think of a place where I have to use a lot of patience. My job, yeah, that was quick. my day job, my 9 to 5. There are often opportunities, we're going to call them opportunities. There are opportunities for me to check in with myself emotionally and make sure that I'm okay. The work that I do, it's not so much even the people, it's the actual work itself is heavy. For those that don't know, I work in and around social justice and politics. So that workload is tense sometimes. And so sometimes I really have to, like, at the end of the day, like, I got to come do some meditation, some yoga. I got to get this off of me because it can be hella heavy. Like, take, for example, I just posted about redistricting. In the middle of this redistricting trial, like, it got so heavy one day. I'm not a big crier, but it got so heavy one day. Like, I just sat and was just like upset because I was just like, yo, like, if these maps actually go forward, like, what does that mean for democracy, And so it's that type of thing. Like, are you checking in with your emotions, and what are you doing to handle them? You shouldn't just be stuffing them down or eating them away or sexing them away, whatever. You want to actually deal with your emotions.
Right. You say you're an Aries, and I'm a Cancer, so
Yeah,
I be in
Lord.
touch with my emotions.
And she is in touch with her emotions, y'all. Whew.
I mean, it's not entirely a bad thing.
No,
I
it's
think
not.
people look at it that way because they always call us crybabies. But I'm like, listen, if I go ahead and get a good cry out, I'm good. I ain't got to deal with your ass no more. Yeah, I think that recognizing your emotions and allowing yourself to feel them is another way that we can care for yourself emotionally, because some people think that it's bad to always, well, not always, it's bad to feel sad, it's bad to feel depressed. But these things happen. Like, don't suppress it because of what society tells you that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, your emotions are what actually makes you human.
Right. And we're all human. Like, we all go through stuff, and we should all have enough compassion for each other to know that if somebody's feeling bad, let them do it, but also check on them and make sure they're okay.
And this is also where therapy comes in. Mm-hmm. When you are having trouble dealing with or addressing or even recognizing your emotions, this is where a good old therapist can come in well.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next form of self-care is our spiritual self-care. So you want to tell them about that, sis?
Sure. And before I get into spiritual self-care, just know that this list isn't exhaustive. We've come up with like 6 or 7 avenues of self-care, but there are plenty more. And we hope to address as many of them as we can while you guys are still willing to listen and love us. But spiritual, spiritual is how you connect to your God or your divine. Whomever that may be. And for those of us that believe we are God, okay, how are we connecting to our inner God? So, that's your prayer life, your meditation life. That's your, whether or not you go to church, temple, the mosque, wherever you do what it is that you do. Praise and worship, y'all. A good praise and worship session, get you through the week. Bible study, anything like that. Or what is it called when Jewish people they have their school. Anyway, Jewish people have schools for their books, their divine books. So yeah, like, how are you taking care of yourself spiritually? And then what does that look like outside of like the big things? So one thing that I always encounter is, I have a little bit of a potty mouth. And so I get questioned about that a lot. Like, how are you walking with God and you got a potty mouth? Because the Lord knows my heart. And so if I don't say the curse word out loud, I'm still thinking it. So here we go. But that's between me and my Lord.
Right.
So, that's my relationship. It's not for you, person, sir, ma'am, to qualify or quantify. But yeah, how are you checking in with yourself on a regular basis? How are you checking in with your deity on a regular basis? So that's what I look at as spiritual. So from spiritual, we can go right into personal. Now, personal definitely kind of goes into the entire concept of what self-care is. But for personal, I thought about the fact that I'm an introvert, right? And I know I'm outgoing, but I'm an introvert. Your introversion or your extroversion is how you decompress. That's the technical definition of it. I'm just not shy. Like a lot of people who are introverted come off as like, oh, they're shy. They're just introverted. I'm not shy. But I am introverted. Trust me. Y'all have this face and this, you have this version of Ki till about 9 o'clock. You have her till about 9, maybe 5. And then I'm gonna be somewhere in a corner real quiet by myself, not talking to nobody. And I'm gonna be up until like 1 o'clock in the morning because I just needed that time. I gave you energy, now I'm taking it from me. And that is how I do my my personal self-care, which is also spiritual. But you also, this is like your love language, right? And we're good at using our love language with our partners, but how good are we at using our love language with ourselves? My love languages are quality time and touch. I ain't quite worked out touch yet. As far as like myself, I haven't worked it out yet. Let me work on that. But quality time, again, I gotta come and give myself some me time and just decompress. That's me. There is a such thing as like your self-love language. I've heard of it. I've just never found any like information on it. I'm gonna bring that to y'all later. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do the quiz. We're gonna figure it out. I'll figure out my self-love language. But it's those type of things. And then, y'all? Okay, so I am a big journaler. Stop laughing at me, Ki. Stop. I'm a big journaler, right? I love journals. I love the little notebooks. I love the little pretty journals. And it's funny because there was a couple years that all my friends, like my group of friends, they all would buy me journals for Christmas, my birthday, whatever. And I'll get the journal and I'll be so excited about it. And I'll write a couple pages, then I get a new one. And instead of me finishing the old journal, no, I just write the new pretty one. So y'all, I got 15 journals in this house. No lie. They got like the first half of them written in. So I decided since the pandemic to not really, I'm not going to say not at all, but not really invest in any new journals. I keep getting them when I go on retreats. But anyway, I'm not really investing in any new journals, but I'm finding the ones that have prompts. So one of my homegirls, Malikia Robertson, or people may know her as Yoga. What is it? Yoga for Us. Yoga's for Us. She wrote a prompt journal called Let's Write. And I went through that one last year. Now I have two. I have Positive Affirmations for Black Women. And it's by Rayla Holder. And I have the Manifestation Journal. Oh, that was my favorite right now. The Manifestation Journal, and it is by they're on Instagram as Limitless Abundance Official. No. Yes. Limitless Abundance _official. Love their journal.
And that journal looks beautiful, by the way.
See?
It looks so beautiful.
And it's nice. And this one's talking about it's the journal prompts are kind of from the law of attraction. So it talks about like working on you and shadow work and the law of attraction and how you can manifest what it is that you want. That's why it's the Manifestation Journal. And I had decided for me for 2022, I'm not big on resolutions, and I'm not that new year, new me girl. I'm not her either. But I did decide that 2022, I needed to step up for me a little bit more. I usually, again, because I've had to overcome a temper, I usually fall back in some things. I'll say my opinion, don't get me wrong, but usually I'm gonna be like, all right, and I'll fall back. And this has led to a very passive when it comes to me. So I don't advocate for myself a lot. And I recognize where that's being detrimental in my life. And like one thing, I have a humility about me, I guess. And so I don't like to brag about me. I'm definitely that type of person. I can show you better than I can tell you, right? I'm her. And I'm probably going to show you, and it's probably going to be great, but I'm not one for talking about it. And that is limiting me in certain ways, like in interviews, on resumes, stuff like that. Because I'd be like, well, I don't know. And yeah, so I need to advocate for me a little bit more. So I'm working on that. So, and I'm also trying to manifest some things like this awesome podcast we got coming through to y'all. I'm manifesting, and it's going to be great, and it's going to hit all the ears that it needs to hit, and it's going to help all the people that it needs to help. I'm also manifesting that my yoga business grows so I can stop working 9 to 5.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. All right. I think that everything you touched on was definitely great for personal self-care. It also kind of spills over into spiritual when you talk about journaling and just kind of your shadow work. Just figuring out what you need to do better and advocating for yourself more. I love journal prompts too. And what I usually do, because I have a bunch of journals around here, what I do is I love to do devotionals in the morning. So like when I wake up, I love to do devotionals, and I love devotionals that actually have questions that I can answer. So most of my journals are filled with questions from devotionals. Also, when it comes to like, if I go through like a fasting period, like if I go through a church fast or whatever, I usually find some kind of long-term devotional that allows me to go through a set of questions or a series of questions. And that kind of keeps me accountable to journaling every day. So I'm kind of like you. I love a good journal. I love to like just kind of reflect on my own life, reflect on my decisions, reflect on things that have happened, and figure out how I need to better myself and how I can advocate for myself a little more.
So proud of you, friend.
That's what I swear, those journals have helped me come a long way.
Yeah. Because it's one thing to sit up there and stew and think about it, but it's quite another when you write it down and then you go back and look at it and you be like, oh, dang, what was I going through?
Right.
Or, whatever.
Yeah. It's a release. It's a form of release.
Yeah.
So moving on, do you have anything else to add for personal self-care?
No, but I was going to say,
I think we forgot also, like, personal self-care. We stuck the surface level things in physical self-care, but I think it's personal as well. You know, when people choose to have manicures and pedicures, bubble baths, all the surface level stuff is more personal self-care because that's what you prefer and that's what works for you. And we're not knocking it at all, but we're just saying that self-care is a lot deeper than these manicures and pedicures. But what they allow us to do is take time to be by ourselves or do something for ourselves. And that's what we're stressing to you all.
Word. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I love
Now,
how she come back and say word without, like, after everything.
mm-hmm.
Like a whole sermon, she's like, word. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Preach. Now, one area that I like, I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to work on my touch. Yeah, y'all, I love a good massage. I love a good massage. Speaking of touch, and there's this place locally. Oh my gosh, it's so great. But my budget don't always agree with me getting the massage package that I really like. So that goes into our next area of personal or area of self-care, finances. And I'm gonna let the accountants lady talk about finances.
Financial self-care. Something that everyone loves to talk about because everybody loves to say they get money and get they in their bag and everything, right?
I need to find a bag.
You said what?
Trying to find a bag to get in.
That's what we're doing now. We trying to find a bag right now. Yeah. If anybody has some free bags laying around, just send them our way. Thanks.
Send them over here. We need these bags.
Okay, so financial self-care is how you deal with your money, your finances. The number one thing that is on my list is, do you keep a budget for yourself? As Ki makes a face at me, but do you keep a budget? How do you save money? How do you plan for your financial future? So, like, are you doing a personal savings and emergency savings? Are you investing? Crypto, all that stuff that people love to do. Are you? I wish y'all could see her right now.
I got a headache, Frank.
How do you?
Just you mentioning all this. I got a damn headache already. This is not self-care.
I'm stressing you out. It's okay though, because you need to hear this. It's okay. You need to hear this though. How do you save money? How much do you save? Are you making sure that all of your bills are paid on time? How are you taking care of your credit score? Because we know that our credit score helps us to get in a lot of doors that we need. Yeah, just how are you taking care of yourself financially? If you're not saving for a rainy day, then what are you doing? Because we all have what?
I feel judged. Listen, you have to mention that whole. I mean, do you keep a budget? Leave me alone, friend. Are we finished yet? Are we done talking about financials?
I mean, it sounds like we need to talk some more about it.
No.
It sounds like you need to hear this, sis. You got your budget ready? Did you pay all your bills this month? Did you save your money that you say that you saved? Because I know you say you go ahead and save your money. Like, did you save enough? Do you need to look at your budget again? Do you need me to look at your budget? You okay, sis?
Leave me alone. That's how I feel about what you're saying.
That's financial self-care, y'all. Because I ain't trying to make my sister feel like I'm like attacking her, but I'm just saying. There's so many other things that we can talk about, taxes.
Okay, you really just giving me hard palpitations.
You got heart palpitations. I'm gonna need you to
Heart
take a breath.
palpitation. Listen, we're
Inhale,
gonna move on to the next area that we just
inhale, and exhale.
The next area we would like to talk about is relationships and how some of those may end because people keep wanting to bring up budgets. No, I'm just joking. Let's
You're
not.
not about to end this friendship. We just started this a year ago, so I'm gonna need you not to be bowing out this quick. You stuck with me. I don't care. You stuck with me. You hear me?
She keep bothering me, y'all. Y'all gonna look, and Kiki gonna be doing this damn podcast by herself. I don't know how to do it anyway. I'm just here. I'm just a talent. I just talk. I don't know none of that technical shit anyway. It's gonna be just her.
You gonna do me like that? That's how it is.
Keep playing.
Relational self-care.
How do you cultivate and maintain relationships, Kiki? Because it can't be you judging your friends.
It is, because the thing about it is this is accountability, you know. And we talked about accountability, you know. We're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about it next week, actually.
Yes. So this is nothing but accountability. This is your own. These are your own words, sis. I'm just
listen, and then you're gonna use my own words against me. You ain't shit right now, friend.
You really gonna dog me out on this podcast like that?
This is the Aries part coming out. Remember, I said that I was trying. I said just don't go there. That's what I had said, and she just kept going there. You see how she just kept. Anyway. Y'all, relationships are hella important. We have so many relationships. We have the fact that we're children, the fact that we're siblings, the fact that we're employees. We may be somebody's raggedy significant other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let you define that and make that whatever that is for you. But we're somebody raggedy. I'm sorry. We're somebody's significant other. Yeah. So anyway, how do you not just cultivate those relationships, not how you create relationships? Like we talked, what was it, last week, about how you and I met, Kiki, but how do you also maintain these relationships? I feel like that is something that we as humans, definitely Americans, we miss the mark sometimes on this maintaining relationships. I noticed a trend in the last maybe like 5 to 10 years where everyone's like, and this could be an age thing, I don't know, but I'm noticing this trend of people be like, I'm just gonna do me, or I gotta take care of me first. I am not saying don't take care of you. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I am saying that as humans, we were not meant to be alone. So if you aren't cultivating, if you aren't maintaining some type of relationship, and for all you fur baby people, maybe this is your relationship that you maintain. I don't know. If you're not maintaining a relationship with another human, that's actually psychopathic. You might want to seek therapy. But yeah, so we have to learn to maintain these relationships. Girl relationships. And I don't mean if you are in the LGBTQ community. I'm not saying girl. I am saying your
platonic.
Yes, your platonic, your non-intimate partner relationships, those need to be maintained. Your intimate relationships need to be maintained. Your familial relationships need to be maintained. All of them need to be like maintained and nurtured.
And honestly,
hold on. If y'all see my brothers, tell them they haven't texted me back. That is not maintaining and nourishing a relationship. Just saying.
Girl, mine hasn't either. That's another subject for another day.
Okay. Start calling people out on the damn podcast.
She on one today, y'all. She is on one. Y'all notice that? I was gonna add that you said your non-intimate relationships. Actually, all relationships have some form of intimacy. Doesn't have to be sexual. I think that's what everybody associates intimacy with. Like, you have to maintain how you speak to your friends, what you do with your friends. Your friendships are just like relationships. Like, y'all have to you go on dates when you're in a romantic relationship. You also need to go on friend dates. Like, y'all need to spend time together. You have to talk to them. This is how you maintain your friendship, right? What do you do for your friends and what do they do for you? And how do you show up for them, even if life changes on you? That'll be a whole episode in itself.
That is a whole episode in itself. So Kiki, you brought up a really cool thing when you and I were doing this check-in offline. You were saying that you had your scheduled phone call with your friend. Y'all, I think it's a cool concept. Go ahead, tell the people, Kiki. Tell the people.
Yeah, because I mean, just like I said, when life changes, you have to start figuring out how you need to talk to your friends or how do you need to keep in contact. When you are in a different stage of life than your friend is, so like if your friends are married, if they have children, sometimes it's harder to get up with them because they're so busy tending to their families. So what I do is I try to schedule some time to talk to my friends. So me and my friend, we were like, look, it's been too long. We haven't talked to each other in a couple months. Like, we got to talk. And I was like, yes, we do. And we just scheduled it. We said, okay, Saturday afternoon, whenever you're done doing what you're doing after your hair appointment or after this, we're going to talk. And that's what we did. And I mean, that's what you have to do when things change, when you're not in the same location, you're not able to just get up and go see them, video call, FaceTime, whatever. Make sure you do something to keep in touch with your friends and keep that relationship going.
That's word. No, that's actually something that me and my best friend are trying to get in the habit of. We came up with a schedule. We just haven't stuck real well to the schedule. So if somebody sees my best friend, tell her to call me.
Yeah, and I just encourage people to like not think of it in a way of it has to be like regular, like every week. You got to talk to them every week. Sometimes that ain't possible.
Right.
It might be once a month. And I mean, and I think I saw a TikTok where they were talking about how adult friendships are. Like, most of the time it gets reduced to you sending memes back and forth. Sending memes, sending TikToks and stuff and just laughing at it. Like, at least you know your friend is alive and they doing well.
Right.
But you do still have to do that actual check-in because we can't tell just because you're laughing at a meme that you're all right.
Right. So you really do got to check in, especially in this day and age. So many people are have decided that this life isn't for them. And so, they're taking their lives. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Chelsea Christ. But yeah, so you really want to check in on people. So sometimes the memes and stuff isn't appropriate. So,
And be honest with your friends.
Be honest with your friends. Because if
I
you can't be honest
literally,
with your friends, then probably shouldn't call them your friends.
yeah, I literally told my friend, I was like, girl, I just haven't felt like talking on the phone, which is very true. Like, because I know that once I talk to my friends, it's literally going to be an hour to 2 hour conversation all the time. And sometimes you just don't feel like putting that much energy into something. That sounds bad, but it's the truth.
And you're not an introvert? I'm just saying.
I am an introvert. I never said I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an extrovert. I'm an extroverted introvert. Like, I can talk to people. I also want to be home in my bed.
I am an extrovert.
So like,
tell you, I'm good until 5.
So like, I can socialize and you can bring me around your friends and we can kiki and all that stuff. But after that weekend, I want to sit in my house for a couple of days because I need to like chill and watch Netflix and not think about stuff.
My social media, a clock.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into this last one that we've identified. Again, this list is not exhaustive, but the last one we identified is your professional self-care. Who, child?
Yes.
All right. So professional self-care looks like, how do you develop your skill set? How do you develop your skills on the job? How do you get better at whatever it is that you're doing? Say you take on a new task, or say you want to apply for a new job. What does that look like? Like, do you need to acquire a new skill? And then how do you go about obtaining that new skill? How do you work with your coworkers? We were just talking about relationships and how they need to be nurtured. And your coworkers is the relationship that I don't think anybody puts a lot of thought into nurturing until the shit falls apart. It's when you have beef with the coworker, you'd be like, well, dang.
Right.
So yeah, you gotta nurture those relationships and
Right.
set work boundaries. That became hella apparent in this pandemic, because in this here pandemic, when us folks are working home, people feel like they can call you at 8 o'clock at night just because they had a great idea. No, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
No, ma'am. I get I'm not in office. However, so yeah, when your work phone is a good old Apple phone, whew, the D&D, and I'm pretty sure you Android people have Do Not Disturb too. But that good old D&D.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
I said that you have it. Listen, this is not what this is about. Stay focused. So that good old D&D is, y'all.
Shady,
She tested,
baby.
huh?
Shady.
That good old D&D comes in handy. The out of office, whether it be your email, whether it be your phone, whatever, it, those type of things. Yeah, you got anything to add?
Yeah, like I agree with everything you said, and just like noticing in your professional environment how you interact with others. I always try to go into every job like making sure that I can at least get along with everybody at the minimum, because it kind of makes everything go smooth, especially when you need to ask for reports or you need to ask for somebody to do a favor. So at the minimum, I'm going to be nice to you. If I don't like you, I'll just be like, okay, I need this, and that's it. I ain't gonna hold no conversation. But also know when it is time to leave. You do not have to stay at a job for 30 years. Because
somebody tell my parents that. Okay.
I mean, they're lost cause. We're not even worried about them. They're gonna stay at their jobs forever. That's them. We talking about us, okay? So
You
if you're
switching
not
jobs
happy,
again? Yes, switching jobs again.
oh girl, my mama is so used to it. She tell people, oh yeah, she done had 1,000 jobs. She tell people that all the time. I am not afraid. Not afraid. Like if I ain't getting paid enough, if I don't like this company, I don't like my boss, I'm gone. But
out.
This time, I'm working on it as well. But yeah, know when it's time to leave. And we talk about developing yourself at the job, but is the environment working for you? Know that money isn't everything. You can get the same amount of money somewhere else with a better environment, or probably more money. So just know when it's time to leave. Know when something's not working for you. Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is part of advocate. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All of this.
Yep.
Everything that we talked about today is advocating for self, because you're actually putting yourself first. So making sure you're good physically, making sure you're good emotionally, making sure your spirit is well, making sure you personally are okay. Your finances are in order.
You need some water? Are you okay?
And making sure you are maintaining and nurturing your relationships of all kinds, and taking care of your professional life. This is all advocating for yourself.
Yep. Word.
I'm glad you got some water, because you asked me that I need water. I was just, putting emphasis on something for you, sis.
You brought it up again? I thought we had moved on.
This water is so great.
Right.
Have you ever tasted this LaCroix lime?
Yes. It tastes like aluminum. It tastes like the can that it's in. I cannot stand LaCroix.
There's only like 2 kinds of LaCroix that I'll actually drink.
So actually, I am a sparkling water fan.
Mm-hmm.
but LaCroix isn't my preference. I like Aha. I like that one. And it's
I like
one
bubbly.
Bubbly's more expensive, so
Not really.
uh-huh.
No, not
I did the
really.
math. I budgeted. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't budget. I didn't. But I do when I go in the store, I be looking, I'm like, well, what's my better deal? And Bubbly's more expensive than Aha. And it's more expensive than this new brand that I've been buying. Oh my God, this new brand, which I cannot think of it to save my life right now, but it's at Publix, if that helps.
Well, I
And the
need
new
you to think of the name of it so that I can look out for it.
I'll text it to you. But because the new brand comes 12 in a pack. That's the other thing. It comes 12 in a pack. So it's not only a few cents cheaper than even Aha is, but it comes 12 in a pack. I literally did the math, and they're literally like 40 cents a can, as opposed to 43 and like almost 50 cents a can the Bubbly is. How's
Yes,
that
ma'am.
budgeting?
Well, I'm glad you can budget, so you can work on your own budget now, right? You can make sure that's in order. Yeah.
You need some more LaCroix?
It's very good. That's why I'm drinking it.
Drink up.
Y'all see how she treat me? It's ridiculous. This is what I have to deal with every day.
What do you mean? You came. That's not accountability, folks.
Yes, it is.
Girl, we gotta go. We didn't hold these people hostage for that long.
So, sis, before we go, tell the people where they can find you and what you can offer them as the wonderful yoga teacher that you are.
Oh, thank you, sis. You can find me at yoga_with_Ki, Ki, on Instagram. And I am a personal yoga instructor. So I do one-on-one sessions. I do them virtually, or if you are local, then, I'll come to you. So that is me. You can also find us at Take Care Sis Pod on Instagram.
Yes, you can find us there. You can find me
There you go.
at This Curvy Yogi. That's on most platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that. That is curvy with an I, not a Y. You put a Y in there, you're going to find somebody else. It ain't me. I teach group classes every month. I do offer one-on-one sessions. If you're interested, you can go to my website, thiscurvyyogi.com. I also got a 30-day challenge for you if you want to start yoga with a very non-intimidating way. This is a 30-day challenge, 10-minute videos each day. You get either asana practice, meditation, or a journal prompt. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website as well. All right?
All right, friend. Okay, so sis, what can I help you with regarding your self-care this week? What new or what self-care piece would you really like to work on, and that I can in turn help you by holding you accountable?
Okay. I think I'm going to go more of the physical route because I'm really trying to get back into my movement practice again. So if you could make sure that I actually put my smartwatch on and that I and that I actually go through actually do stuff when the alarms go off and they tell me I need to move every hour on the hour. Yeah. Just tell me, at the beginning or the end of the day, girl, you better get up when that alarm goes off. I don't care what you're doing. That's all I need.
Okay, I can do that. Let's see. What do I want to work on this week? Oh, so I joined yet another book club. I don't know what I was thinking, but I joined another book club. So I now need to be reading 2 books this week on top of my journaling, on top of my work. And you know what? Never mind. Scratch all of that. Because I started a new class this week. Speaking of personal or professional self-care, I want to learn how to write grants. So I'm taking a grant writing class. I start that class this week. So I probably won't be reading none of these books from these books clubs. Y'all forgive me if y'all are in a book club with me. Because I'm starting class. So I think self-care for me this week looks like me just making time for me so I don't get overwhelmed my first week of class.
That's a good goal. Mm-hmm.
So time management is going to be key for me this week.
Yeah. So F them books this week. Just focus on that class. Thanks.
But I got the 1619 project. I'm so excited to read it. And it's in Black History Month. And
okay.
and Hannah Nicole Jones is dope.
I'm listening, but I'm gonna need you not to overwhelm yourself, like you just said. And you getting real worked up and excited. And then you're gonna be disappointed when you say, I'm gonna read this book and I'm gonna do this class, and don't none of it get done because you're overwhelmed. Does that make sense, sis? Are you trying to end this call? If you don't come back on the screen. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? This is what I gotta go through. First she want to do that when I talked about the budgets, and now I'm trying to help her and she's over here turning her camera off.
Thank you, friend.
Yes, of course. I love you so much.
Love you too, sis. I want you to have a fantastic week.
I want you to as well. So, sis.
All right.
I need you to take care.
Sis, I need you to take care. I need all y'all to take care this week and come back and join us next week. We will be here talking about accountability.
Yes. So we out this week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.